Hello, it's Jim Hutchens for the Jerusalem Connection Truth Report for this week. We're winding down now as far as our consideration of Romans 9 through 11, and we've dealt with this passage because it is the definitive passage with regard to the Jews in the New Testament. And it's to counteract the lie, really, that is going forth that would suggest that the Palestinians are now the heirs of God's covenant promises to the Jews, because the Jews have been disobedient. They've been dispersed about the world, but God is now bringing them back, and He will fulfill His promise. It's not a matter of the faithfulness of the Jew or their unfaithfulness. It's a matter of the faithfulness of God. He will perform. He will complete. He will fulfill what He has promised. And that's what He's saying in Romans 9 through 11. Just as a quick reminder of what we looked at last week. Starting at verse 28, Romans 11. As far as the gospel is concerned, they are enemies. That is, the Jews are enemies. Now hear what he says. They are enemies on your account. But as far as election is concerned, they are loved on account of the patriarchs. And the key word here is the election of God. They are elect of God, chosen, if you will. All of them? No. Only those who will believe. Unbelievers, regardless of Jew or Gentile, are not included. What does election mean? It is the sovereign decree of God that stands for eternity that was decreed before the foundation of the world, that there is a faithful remnant of Jews who will believe. There are indicators of that even now among the Messianic Jewish population worldwide. But that will be enlarged, and it will increase in the days ahead. But they are loved on account of the promises God made to the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I will establish my covenant with you. It includes a land. You will possess that land in time. That's yet to take place. For the gifts and the callings of God are irrevocable. They don't change. They're never revoked. They're never abrogated. They're never substituted. They will be fulfilled according to what God has promised. The Palestinian claims notwithstanding. Then we come to this very critical passage. Verse 30. Just as you were at one time disobedient, speaking of the Gentiles, just as you were at one time disobedient to God, but you have now received mercy as a result of their disobedience, because they rejected and disobeyed God, and they rejected their Messiah. God extended it to the Gentiles. And the scriptures tell us, Galatians chapter 3, if you belong to Christ, if you belong to Jesus the Messiah, you are now a descendant of Abraham, and you are an heir according to the promise. So, just as you were at one time disobedient to God, but you have now received mercy as a result of their disobedience, so they too have now become disobedient. Now listen to this. In order that they too may now receive mercy. How? Where is that from? They too now may receive mercy as a result of God's mercy to you. God's means by which mercy will be extended to the Jew is through the non-Jew who's become a believer. Through the Gentile who's now included into the Israel of God, who's now been engrafted into that Israel, that olive tree that is the metaphor for the Israel, the true believing Israel of God. This is critical. They too have become disobedient in order that they too now may receive mercy as a result of God's mercy to you. We are God's agent of mercy to the Jewish people. We're the ones who will create the jealousy, as Paul says. And we're going to be talking about that. I want to give you just a preview of coming attractions. We're going to be talking about that after the first of the year. We're starting a new series. And what is one of the primary means by which jealousy can be created among the Jews? We're going to be talking about that. I'm eager to get into it. I hope you'll be joining us. But hear this. They are to receive mercy because of the mercy that we have received. The mercy that has called us granted us faith. Jesus said, no one comes unto me unless the Father draws them. And the Father draws them through the mercy that is extended. And we are to be the ones that extend that mercy to the Jewish people. And that is the truth.